A closer look at the turmoil in Russia and the Wagner Group at the center of it all, led by a man Vladimir Putin once considered an ally. ABC's Patrick Revel joins us from Kharkiv, Ukraine, with more this morning. Good morning, Patrick.
Good morning, Janae. Yes, the story of the Wagner mercenary leader Yevgeny Prigozhin is a remarkable one. For years, he operated in the shadows, but it was really the war here in Ukraine that transformed him into a figure capable of challenging Vladimir Putin.
Yevgeny Prigozhin, the mercenary leader who launched and then abandoned the uprising against Vladimir Putin, for decades was one of his close associates. First meeting Putin as a restaurateur in their native St. Petersburg, then getting rich on state catering contracts.
And the relationship until recently between Putin and Prigozhin was close, was extremely close. Prigozhin was known as Putin's chef because he was someone who served Putin many times at restaurants.
But in 2014, Prigozhin created Wagner, operating as a shadowy force in conflicts around the world, particularly in Africa.
This mercenary group, again, was a group that the Russian government used to kind of provide some deniability.
Prigozhin's forces accused of torture, rape and massacres in several countries and wanted by the FBI over a propaganda campaign to interfere in the US 2016 presidential election. But Ukraine brought Prigozhin out of the shadows. Allowed to recruit tens of thousands of convicts from Russian prisons, as seen in this video posted online, the Kremlin relying on Wagner in the battle for Bakhmut. Andrei Medvedev, a Wagner defector, this year describing brutal tactics to ABC News.
You saw personally members of Wagner execute other soldiers in front of you?
There was a case where I saw them bring two men to the training ground and then shot them in public, he said. As the Kremlin's war failed, Prigozhin's stature grew, increasingly publicly challenging Russia's military leadership on social media. This week finally saying Russia's invasion was based on lies. Saying in this video that the war was needed so that a handful of scumbags could do a victory lap and get PR attention.
He spoke in an incredibly blunt, profane language that made him increasingly popular on social media channels, especially Telegram. And Prigozhin started thinking of himself not as a puppet of Putin and started to think himself as a rival for power.
Prigozhin's influence in many ways came from speaking the truth about how badly the war is going for Russia. But there are big questions now about what will become of him. The Kremlin says he'll have amnesty in Belarus. But a key question, I think, is what was agreed to stop his march on Moscow. Gio?
A fascinating look at that history. All right, Patrick, thank you.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.